And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
Hello.
Heyo.
Look at me. Look at where I am on this. I'm not in the big spot. I first hand that way. Oh, Jesus. That way. That way. Touch hand.
I don't know who's next.
What?
I don't know who's there. I haven't loaded up my Twitch yet.
Everyone looks like they're just like, I'm trapped.
Let me out.
Welcome to our new campaign on Forever DM No More. I am your host, Friendly Dungeon Master, most of the time, but today, my name is Kris. And with us have some familiar faces. We have Kris as our Dungeon Master for the foreseeable future.
Hello!
Have Hannah right below me. And above me, have JJ, and then in the top left on your screen, Ed back with us again after moving and getting over being cold.
Welcome back, Ed.
We'll notice in the
Thank
bottom
you.
left that Quentin is absent. Said last week, won't be with us for a couple of weeks, but then he'll be back, roaring and ready to go. Have a new addition, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep DeForest's spot open. We're going to keep her available for whenever he was able to drop in, but he notified us that we'd be unable to do that for quite some time. So we went ahead and reached out to a few people, and Coda was the one who made the cut, joining us. So welcome,
Hello.
Dakota.
Hi.
Welcome.
Now you just have to grow your beard out. He feels like an interesting progression of facial hair, though. I literally just was looking at the screen and was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Anyway, yeah, Hannah, your beard is lovely, by the way.
I know.
So,
One of these things
Really,
is
Hannah should
not
be
like the others.
holy crap,
to start the beard progression.
So we're already up to 8 viewers, and I'm assuming that some of those are due back to our very first giveaway. Tonight.
Yes, we are.
So, here's how this is going to work. You don't get to know what the giveaway code word is yet. You actually have to watch a little bit of the show. And I would apologize.
Sorry.
It's a great show. So, sit back, enjoy. When we go to break, we will put a code word up on the screen. Please enter that code word into the chat, and I'll reiterate this as we go when we have a moment, and remind everybody how to do this for people who come in later. So when you see the code word pop up before we go to break at 6:30, just enter that code word in the chat. Enter it once as a single word. The spelling will be up on the screen, so if you misspell it, just don't know how to read, and I apologize for that. But just follow the letters. Just match the letters to the keyboard. It's very simple. Hit enter, and you will be entered into the giveaway. Winner will be chosen at random from the people who enter the word correctly. We will announce the winner towards the end of the stream. We will contact you via direct message on Twitch, or Whisper, or whatever the fuck it's called on Twitch. If you would prefer to be contacted in a different manner, then just simply type the code word in, and then a couple of spaces, so that code word is fine, and then just tell us your Twitter handle, your email, or Instagram. I don't know, however you want to be contacted, just let us know, and we'll do it. We are very accommodating here. So, I believe that is all the announcements. Right.
No, first off,
What?
you gotta appreciate my overlay.
Yes, I am so sorry.
Thank you,
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
It's pretty.
Yes,
gorgeous
you gotta
overlay was
appreciate
done by
it.
Marion.
My kind of fiance, kind of not, is watching, and he's really into Photoshop. So be proud.
Be proud.
Yes.
Yes, the overlay is gorgeous. New and exciting and pretty. Hopefully, and is amenable to it, then every time we switch DMs, we will have a variation on the overlay until Hannah gets fed up with this and tells us all about it.
No, we will. You guys just gotta put up with me complaining about Photoshop lagging.
That's my kink. Listening to Hannah complain.
My whole thing.
Like, part of the usage of Photoshop is complaining. Like, that's part of the agreement.
Yes.
Terms
yes,
of agreement,
it is.
yeah.
It's in the terms of services.
That's the ELU.
Yes, it is. I read it.
So, thank you, Hannah, for designing this amazing overlay. Real quick, the maps that you're going to see tonight, and the one that's on the screen right now, were made by Kris.
Yep, made them using Incarnate's professional license. I really enjoy it.
Heyo.
Sponsor us, Incarnate.
Incarnate, give us money, huh?
Yes,
Please.
Come on.
Send money.
we'll show your maps. It'll be fantastic. Watch me work.
All right, so with that, are there any other announcements that I missed? Oh, the giveaway we're doing is for a copy of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I don't know if I fucking said that or not.
I don't think you did.
You did now.
I did it now. It's Waterdeep Dragon Heist. A copy will be sent to you from Amazon, courtesy of JJ this go round. Really courtesy of the Forever DM.
It's my gift to you guys. I love you all.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take it away so we can just go on the road.
All right. Well, welcome to the city of Wildjoy. Now, the city of Wildjoy is a fairly new town here on the Dragia Peninsula. It's a bustling trade spot that prospers on farming, lumber, and the acquisition of magical components. It's a city that's nestled between the magical woods of Narafil and the Sweet Song Plains. It is a diverse city of Fey-kin and humans. Here, all manner of people and Fey can make a livelihood without fear. At first, it was just the farms of Hope's Reaping, but a half-Fey prince known as Thurston Durathil brought down from the south a large caravan of tieflings, half-elves, and various humanoids that were all cast out from the southern reaches of Averni. Within Wildjoy itself is the chapter house of the Journeyfolk. Now, the Journeyfolk are chapter-based guilds of adventurers that travel about through the world as adventurers, fortune seekers, and Fey hunters. So there's essentially a treatise between the wild Fey and the people that live in the surrounding area that Fey won't be harmed, so as long as the Fey don't harm the common folk as well. You are all members of that guild. Your long journeys from home have finally come to an end. It was months ago when you had given your oath to the Journeyfolk and received your chapter assignment to the bustling Fey-touched city of Wildjoy. It's known for its Menfata festival. With close ties to the mystic clans of Lunos and bustling trade of magical ingredients, Wildjoy has plenty to catch the attention of travelers and fortune seekers alike. The Journeyfolk chapter house is unimpressive for outside appearances, like a rundown brothel on the port side of a trading city caught in a decades-long recession. But diamonds in the rough have their qualities. The inside of the chapter house is large and spacious, with a smell of freshly cooked eggs and from the nearby farms and smoked fairy hog sausages simmering in grease. A multitude of would-be adventurers congregate in the common room, discussing plans and introductions. And as the door slowly opens to reveal one Loxodon dwarf that slowly walks into the room. Go, JJ. Describe yourself. All right. Babarus Tiberius Snuffleupagus is my name. And I am a 4'2" cleric, elephant-shaped, obviously Loxodon. I've kind of got
highly polished armor on with a white and blue kind of flowing gown over the top of the armor. He kind of puts on a rough and tumble atmosphere, but he's not one to be messed with. He's kind of gruff and usually fairly grumpy, at least to folks who don't know him.
Excellent. Sitting over by the fire and talking up a storm is a large hulking of a man known as Sturgis. Go for it.
Right, I'm Sturgis. And see a massive Goliath, and about 7 feet tall, sitting out, wearing very fine robes, and made of a darkness, kind of a purplish colour at the seam. Very clean, very neat, head shaved, lots of beard all over the face. Got like the David trainer, whatever that. Well, and two balls out. And there's a goatee, very sharp, very manicky, and he's telling stories and he's playing his.
Sitting at the same table is an elderly human wearing the robes of what would appear to be a master wizard. His name is Marvin. Go for it.
Muted, yeah. So Marvin the Maid, as he goes by all the time, is quite a lanky old man. He's about 6'3", 6'4" when he's not hunched over. He wears a pointed blue conical hat and has a long white beard. He looks like he's about 80 years old. And talks like an old man. He is probably interjecting into Sturgis's stories to relate them to his wife and children and say, oh, yes, I once went on my honeymoon there with my wife. He seems to be a bit forgetful and sort of scatterbrained, but yeah, he looks every part a wizard, but he has only recently become one. Yeah.
Rising from the women's barracks of the Journeyfolk Guild House is a rare sight among these parts, but a fire Ganazi. Go for it.
Alright, so Fiametta, she comes from the women's barracks looking beautiful, iconic. She has a wonderful personality. She's clad in like a very revealing woven bandeau top, or tube top for people who don't know otherwise. She has like jeweled circlet and very striking ruby red eyes. She's very reminiscent of like the center of a burning wick of a candle. So like that white light type of fire. Her skin is like peach touched, like a grapefruit, and her hair near the roots is a dark red, and it slowly fades out to just a piercing white as it traces down her back and the length goes to her knees. And she looks very, very bored of this place already.
And finally, looking about the room, there are a few waiters milling about of halfling-sized. And one of them gets bumped into, but we realize he's not a waiter at all, but seemingly getting bothered by another guild member wanting his attention. A small halfling named Gunther.
Hello. Yeah, my name's Gunther Gildenspoke. I've got some leathery olive skin, hair tossed back down to about here, mutton chops, eye patch, scar, goes all the way across that eye and through the mutton chop. Tight leather armor, fur-lined coat that goes all the way down to my ankles. And listen, don't bump into me again. Do you understand? All right? Yeah? Okay. All right, yeah.
As the morning continues, a small halfling scribe rings a large bell that echoes in the main chamber, and the room becomes silent. On the second floor balcony, a gold dragonborn, dressed in the ceremonial garb of the Journeyfolk, addresses the crowd. Welcome, initiates, to your new home. May you die with swords in your hands, and the names on the tongues of history. The Dragonborn surveys the crowd and takes measure of you. I am Asherok Singrun, master of this chapter house. In this chapter house, I expect 2 things of you. He raises his right hand, holding 2 scarred fingers. Obey the charter, and obey me. He pauses, then nods in the direction of the kitchen. And above all else, stay the fuck out of Virok's kitchen. The room breaks out into laughter. Each of you have been assigned a scribe adjutant and companions. They are your advisor and will see to your provisions, objectives, and well-being. Treat them with the utmost respect. See to your barracks and prepare for the upcoming assignments this evening at the festival. There's a elven wizard that it seems to take the spot of the Gold Dragonborn, and he begins to call out names. Neris, Eranor, Orsic, Adrex, Vazira. Those adventurers stand up and rise and begin shuttling off with their advisor. Then you see a small gnome character of white hair and large spectacles, and he approaches. Marvin, Gunther,
What?
Hello?
Barbarous, Sturgis, and Fee. Come with me,
my
please.
God. I have the nerd.
Yeah, Marvin will like try and get a hand up from the Goliath next to him, like leaning on his staff. My knees aren't quite what they used to be. Give me a hand. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. As we're at the same table.
Effortlessly, just like this frail old man. A little too far at first, and then kind of sets him down.
Oh! Why? Thank you very much. No one's thrown me about like that since my wife.
You head to a small office room, and the gnome kind of hobbles back behind his seat and starts looking over papers, and then takes gather of all of you and says, I am Rooney Divenstone, and I'll be your scribe adjutant. Welcome to Wildjoy. Your first mission I have for you is to be at the festival in the Greater Market. He pulls out this bag of coal, and he puts it on the table. And then you see him begin speaking in incantation and Draconic, and the bag of coal takes the shape of this lovely decorated bag of gold. This is what you'll trade for the bandit I want you to meet. Apparently he has wyvern eggs for sale, and I want you to, 1, take the egg and trade him for this bag of coal. Make sure that you don't get in a fight in the market square, and see if he has any more. Do you have any questions?
Why?
Well, for one, you have signed up as a Journeyfolk,
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did.
and I
Why
have
am I the egg fetcher?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't hear the ladies whining over everyone talking under their voices. Miss... Oh, I see now why you talk to me this way. You are a brat of noble birth.
Yes, I am.
Burgess is like,
Why am I the fetcher of the eggs?
Well, as you well know, we have a contract with Wildjoy, particularly a favorable one during this time of the year of Menfata, when the Fey moon is closest to us, and all the Fey come out of the woods and play tricks. And most of the guard is very already overtaken with searching and inspecting all the different tradesmen that come in and keeping the peace. And so it is your job to make sure that illegal goods are not coming and going in this city. Let me find your file. What is
Oh,
Viscountess? Viscountess.
Hi everyone, I'm Fee.
Your fee, I see. And they gave you the room by yourself for good reason, I see. Remember,
Yeah,
consorts are not allowed in
I don't have to
this
have
guild
them
house.
here.
Yes, that's just you can go find plenty of. What is it you prefer?
And I
Yes,
will, and if you want to know about it, you can pay a monthly
I
fee.
do not, madam. I do not.
Okay,
Now,
whatever you...
pertaining her whining, does anyone have any questions about meeting the buyer?
do we have a description?
Yes, he is a red-headed man, and he is named Arnold. Yes,
God.
Sounds
Arnold
like
the
a fucking
Grunt.
treat.
Now,
Arnold the Grunt.
he might have connections with the Silver Pins, but he might just be an idiot. I don't know.
Well, guess we should go find out then, yeah?
There's like we're trying to, but hasn't really. Oh, this fellow, he looks like he's ready to dead.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one?
But the old one, you're
I'm only 80 years.
I
Don't you call me old?
Just like to know what happens if you die.
Well, I have his letter of recommendation here from the Arcanum. Comes very good from the regent. And if he should die, please bring his body back to the Journeyfolk Guild House.
I'm just no hard feelings. No hard feelings.
My
Young
on.
people these days, so rude.
So if someone dies, the guild house, they like take care of everything, right? We don't have to
Yes.
pay for anything, right? A funeral.
Yes, you just bring them here, hopefully in one piece. Bring them
That's
here in
good.
one piece.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me about death. Here
Oh.
you go. And he hands out 6 healing potions, one for each of you.
Oh.
And then he looks and he's like, oh, tops off. And then he just drinks one. Oh, refreshing.
Marvin will take one and pop the cap and give it a sniff. Clearly you don't use any decent flavorings in this. It smells rank. Puts the cork back in.
Well, yes. When you do use beholder kidneys, it will get quite rank.
Oh. Oh, these
I'm
must
just
be
kidding. We don't use
fortune.
beholders. We don't use beholders. But no,
Have these
this old
all
man
been disinfected?
Hey, I've
disinfected.
got a question for you, advisor.
Yes.
So you did. We're giving this guy charcoal, right? For the eggs.
Yes. Yes, you're giving
Okay.
him charcoal.
Yeah, so I'm all for like, fucking someone over occasionally and all that, but what happens if what is this how long does this illusion last? What's up with that, yeah?
This illusion should last. And he starts looking over his notes.
That is a very good question.
It should last for at least 2 days.
Oh. Yeah.
Unless
Use the word
someone tries
should.
to take the gold and pay for things. So make sure they keep it all in the pouch.
All right, yeah. Yeah, we'll do our best then. It's good
Excellent.
to see everybody. It's good I asked because
If you bring the egg back and manage to find his supplier, you get 50 gold pieces each, with a bonus of 100 gold pieces for the group.
all
Any
right.
more questions?
Seems like easy work.
Yeah. Sounds like easy work. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
Marvin will hold out a wizened hand for the pouch.
The gnome hands you the pouch.
Marvin disappears into one of the various folds of his robe.
Now, don't lose that, or you'll be fucked.
Lose
Oh,
what?
shit.
Very good. Well, please don't die, and I shall see you when you're done. Yes?
Oh,
Excellent.
wait, hang on. Wait, one more.
Yes.
How much gold is this illusion of? So that like when we're like, hey, we want wyvern eggs, here's blank amount of gold.
200 gold pieces.
Oh, all right, yeah, okay.
All right. Do you head out into the city of Wildjoy?
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
got it.
Yep.
Okay. All over town, you can see decorations are being put up for the Festival of Menfata. Menfata is also the time of year it is. So, like, you would think of Oktoberfest. This is Menfata. The month of Menfata, it's Menfata Fest. Everyone give me a history check.
Oh boy. Oh, she's actually proficient in that. Wow, Fee, you're not dumb. Actually, she's dumb.
8.
10.
10?
That's an 8 for me.
8? Any higher
14.
for anybody else? 14?
Yeah, Marvin was probably here when it was invented.
Well, it was invented 120 years ago, so
Oh, so not far off.
40 years off, but his elven wife would have been here.
Certainly.
This is reminiscent of when the first pilgrims and pioneers came into this area, that they would hold a feast with all of the surrounding fae in the forest and on the plains. And so they gathered together and they would share food and they would give offerings to the archfae that were in the area for protection. And there's a very famous battle of when the soldiers of Covenant came after all these refugees and were trying to mow them down, and the fae intervened and stopped it. And so you see a bunch of just various masks and people walking around and selling all these goods. You see performers on large stilts looking like treants, just moving about, elongated elven ears that humans are wearing. Like, it looks like a very magical Comic-Con that's just happening around the city.
Now, are there sorry.
Go ahead. No, ask a question.
Are there like performers, like performing music around us, like as we go?
Yes, there's performers performing music around you, and you see just this parade of musicians coming your way, and they all look like Loxodons, just moving down the street towards you. Do you do anything as they walk your way?
I will pull out my ukulele and start performing alongside them.
Give me a performance check.
Could be good at this. My dice does not agree. Performance. That is a 7.
A 7. Okay, so you start performing, and you're trying to catch the same melody and key that the performer's on as this brass band of what is now looks like just Loxodon masks with these sousaphones and baritones like just blasting past you, and you see this one kid go, "That Goliath
Sturgis.
sucks."
This is for Sturgis.
It sounds exactly like that, as Sturgis is just desperately getting more anxious, trying to find, and it's just not happening. And so it just kind of moves on.
So these are Loxodons in mass. They're not actual Loxodons?
They're not actual Loxodons. They're just parading humans in a brass marching band.
So I kind of stare them down and give them a look like, you motherfuckers.
Give me an intimidation check.
20. Not natural, but a 20.
20. So as they're passing you, this brass marching band, like they see you and their volume decreases for a little bit as like they're like, because they kind of were joking and mocking over at Sturgis, and they see they're like, oh, fuck. This is Loxodon face. All right. And they just keep on moving after that, and they increase their tempo to get past you.
That's right. Keep moving.
And then a young boy comes up and pulls on your trunk and goes, "Oh, that's not a mask." Huh, and runs off.
Why, you little shit.
And I yell after him. I'm like, "Hey, you fuck! Did he take something from you?"
Only my dignity.
You know, I was just called a brat, but that was a brat.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a brat. What the fuck?
Yeah. Didn't you?
Calm down, everyone. It's only a child.
You're right. I'm just looking for a reason to be mad. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You know what? I
And
relate
Martin
to
reaches
that.
over and rubs your head,
That was surprisingly introspective.
pulls out a hard
I'm just,
candy.
I'm just in a mood. It's like
Here, have a candy. Marvin pulls out a hard candy.
Oh, no, I want one! I want one!
Is the little root beer barrels?
No, do you guys have Werther's Originals?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. They're Werther's Originals.
I put that thing in my mouth and I suck on it until it's gone. I don't even chew on it.
Yeah.
Like
I
I've been
want one. That's not fair.
There's
That tastes
plenty to
well
go around. My wife makes these. They're delicious. Yes. Just one. We don't want you to get too excited because of the sugar.
Bitches throws it at somebody.
Marvin catches it with mage hand. Don't throw your food.
As you're still walking down the street, Gunther and Barbarous, you see a couple traders that are tending to their stalls, and they're just scrumming furiously on the front of their stalls, and they're trying to get graffiti off, and you can just hear them like cursing under the breath of like these stupid fae and their tricks, like, and the graffiti itself says TWBD, and it has like this face of this grotesque goblin wearing a purple cap.
Does TWBD mean anything to me?
You can give me a history check.
It's an 11.
11. It doesn't mean anything to you, but it kind of looks like a gang symbol for one of the rough and tumble like youth groups that might be in the area that are like a bunch of the orphans that kind of run about the city.
So I'll approach the traders and ask them, what's this all about? What's the graffiti here for?
I'll follow.
Well, it's just been popping up every night, every day. We come out and it says TWBD, and then there's like this little apparition of like this ugly little gnome just dancing on our stalls, and then our stuff is just cast about everywhere like a ghost is throwing everything around, and it's just it's getting enough that like I'm losing so much and I'm not selling any of my goods.
Do any of these traders have red hair, by the way?
No.
All right.
Would you like me to get rid of that for you?
Of the graffiti, absolutely. Yes, please.
I will try. I hate filth. And I will attempt to use. Wait. Have it. That's the question. Yeah. Prestidigitation.
I will help
Sorry.
with my own prestidigitation if that's what we're going to do.
To try to get rid of it. Things off.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
The prestidigitation spell works as like the ink and just the grime of the TWBD is just sloughing off, and it starts looking pristine. And the two traders are just like, "Oh, thank you so much." Here, and they each handed you 5 gold pieces of like they're just like, "This is perfect. Thank you so much."
Is that just for Sturgis or for Sturgis and Marvin?
5 gold pieces for Sturgis and 5 for Marvin.
Oh, thank you very much. I can buy myself a nice new flat cap.
We should just go around and just clean up the city.
Well,
Seems
before
like
I
a
was a
lucrative
wizard,
job,
I had
yeah.
to clean things up the hard way. And let me tell you, it doesn't pay nearly this well. Normally, anyway.
That's fair.
Do you want to do anything else before you keep continuing to the drop spot where you're supposed to meet the smuggler?
Sturgis will look down at himself and just see if he is dirty at all, like even his boots, the hems of his trousers, like anything. If there's any dirt, he will immediately prestidigitate it away, and will continue to do so as they keep walking.
Perfect. So you gain kind of a bit of an audience of people just watching you constantly clean yourself before they're like, "Oh, he's not going to do any fun spells," and then they walk off.
If they were like, did you say they're like kids coming up?
Yeah.
In which case, Marvin will be like pulling coins out from behind their ears, turning them into candies, and
doing the nose trick.
Yeah, doing the nose trick. Like Marvin will happily entertain small children until someone drags him away. He's
all right,
check this out, and he'll like shoot some sparks up in the air.
Would Gunther and Barbarous please roll me a d20 and tell me what your roll is?
8.
15.
Okay, Barbarous, you see one of the kids as they're like all surrounding your companion Marvin. He sneaks out a gold piece from his robe and like just pockets it.
How far away is this kid from me?
You're all in a group walking, so like he's with arm's reach.
I grab him by the back of the shirt and kind of pick him, as far as I can off the ground, only being 4'2".
Hey! Get off of me! Get off of me! And he keeps trying to swipe at your face with his hands. Let go! Let go!
What'd he do?
Let go! Help!
What are you doing? What are you doing? That's not very nice. Put him down. I'll give you a thrashing.
He just took a gold piece out of your pocket, old man. I'm trying to help.
Oh, how rude. Boy, if you needed gold, why didn't you ask?
People don't usually give it when I ask.
Well, let me be polite and maybe do something. Then you can earn your money and you won't have to go around. Marvin takes his gold piece back, puts it into his pouch, and then takes out... How many kids are there?
There's about 10 to 11.
So he'll take out, he'll put the gold piece back in and take out 10 silver pieces and give them each a silver piece. And say, right, now run along, don't spend it all on candies, and then stand up and... We should probably be going.
Okay, so Marvin, you can give yourself 1 point of renown with the Tobies.
Okay, let me find out how to do that on this. Cool. Allies. Yeah, add ally.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Fee is just kind of standing back, watching all of these people. Like, what the fuck?
Can I? I'm gonna grab the kid that pickpocketed.
Yep.
I'm just gonna like grab him on the shoulder, and I'm about as tall as he is, and I just lean in real close to his ear, and I'm just like, next time, I'll cut off your pinky and I'll fucking eat it. I will. I will.
All right,
I'll fucking do it.
Give me an intimidation
I'm not
check
doing
at
anything. I'm
advantage.
not doing anything, mate.
Give me an intimidation check at advantage. Jesus.
You're intimidating a child.
What is it with us and pinkies?
It's 20, not natural.
20. Oh, okay. So the kid is like, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, okay.
Kid near pisses himself.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
No, hey,
Okay.
listen, we're fine. We're cool. But like next time, you know what I mean?
Yep. Okay, so they scatter off. All right, everyone roll me a perception check.
Might as well all just become circus folk. That's what we are.
23.
13.
4.
You don't see it.
Great tonight.
12 for me.
Perception. 20.
20. Okay.
Yes.
So you head into the great market, and there's just this large, beautiful fountain in the middle of it that shows 6 figures, each standing around the fountain, and water is coming from their hands. There's an Asmar, there's a Kenku, there's a half-elf, there's 2 dwarves. One seems to have the appearance of a cleric, and the other one's a fighter with his bow outstretched in one with both hands, and then water seems to be coming from a wound on his chest. And yeah. And then there's one that seems to be just dilapidated and just kind of running off, and you can't really tell what the figure is anymore. Now, there's an alleyway that leads from a couple of buildings on the southern end of the Great Market. And in between those alleyways, Marvin, you can see that there's Arnold the Grunt waiting. He's just kind of like smoking a large pipe, and he's flipping a coin up and down. But you can also see that there are 2 men on the roof, and they seem to be hiding each behind a chimney. So there's, on one side of the alley, there's a chimney poking up, and there's a gentleman hiding behind it. And on the other side, you see kind of this half-orc hiding behind the other chimney.
Okay.
And with Arnold the Grunt are 2 others that seem to be waiting by kind of like a large barrel dumpster.
So there's five adversaries in total.
Yes.
Yes. So Marvin will relay that information to the group, like hold everyone back, and then say, "Wait just a moment." And then Marvin reaches into his robes and to sort of his stomach areas, and you think he's like grabbing onto his belly, but then he pulls out from his robes this huge fluffy cat, which he places down onto the ground, and then scratches it behind the ears and goes, "Good mittens, go have a look at those lads over there and see if you can't distract them from their post." And he will sort of go into his familiar's thoughts and send it off through the crowd towards the people.
Okay. And so is that cat going up the buildings to go distract 2 on the chimney, or the ones with Arnold?
Probably the ones on the chimney.
Okay.
As they look like they're there to ambush.
All right. So as you send the cat Mittens up onto the building, and he slowly gathers up there, he sees he's closest to the half-orc, which is on the west building. And he comes up to it, and you can, if you're still in Mitten's eyes, you can see that this half-orc has a large, heavy crossbow with these elongated black serrated darts for the bolts that are waiting. And then he seems to have on the back of his boot what looks to be like a pin of a needle that you use for sewing, and it's in a silver color. And the half-orc just kind of looks down at the cat and goes, pretty kitty. Shoot. Go.
So Marvin will get Mittens to sort of kneel next to him and start meowing loudly as if food.
All right,
Like,
give me...
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Is it the cat's you doing persuasion?
Yeah, it's the cat.
Okay, let me see if I've got the stats for it here.
I mean, he thinks the cat's pretty,
Mm-hmm.
so it could be very convincing.
How come cats only have a 7 charisma? That doesn't...
Have you met cats?
I love cats. They're gorgeous.
Little shits with their fey cast charm.
Oh man, I got 16.
Hey! Okay, so... from what you can see, Marvin, is that the half-orc is just starts playing with the cat. He's like, what do you want? And he takes some jerky and starts feeding it to him. And you can see the other the human on the other roof is like, what the fuck are you doing? You could see him just miming. He's like, Jesus Christ! Or something. He's just like, Hades, goddammit! He's just saying shit. And so that seems to be happening up there.
Okay. So I'll inform the people that ambush is waiting on the roof. But I can grease one of the roofs to hopefully drop one of the assailants if we need to.
Should I go up there and give him a little little shove after you grace him?
I would say maybe stay close to him, but don't be attacking anyone before we know they're a threat.
I wouldn't dare.
If they're there to be reasonable and just take this bag of money and leave us be, then there's no reason to hurt them. But if they are being a nefarious, then, well, I don't just have non-lethal spells prepared. I also have lethal ones prepared.
I can beat the shit out of them.
I'm
right.
sure you can, and he ruffles your hair.
Okay. All right.
Here's a candy. Now let's go.
Gunther,
So
if I understand, you're gonna head up one of the buildings, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm finding a drain pipe or whatever.
I was gonna say, is anyone else going to stealth, or is it going to
I'm gonna
be
stealth? Yeah.
4 of us go and?
So if you're gonna go
One of us
stealth, you're gonna give me 2 rolls. One's gonna be a stealth to see how well you're doing it, and one's gonna be acrobatics. Now, here's the kicker: since you're trying to do both and you're climbing up a building, you can choose which one you're really focusing on, and that one you're gonna roll regularly, but the other one's gonna take a disadvantage because you're trying to do both.
So I'm focusing acrobatics because I want to get up there. And I'll take stealth at disadvantage.
Okay.
God almighty. Acrobatics 10.
10. Okay. That's perfect. You're getting up there.
And the disadvantage stealth is 11.
11. All right. Well, you're in luck. The humans doesn't notice you. You're up there, and you're on the human side on the east building. You climb up the drainage pipe, and you're sitting there. So you weren't noticed, and you're just waiting.
Yeah. Is there anything to hide behind? Am I hiding behind anything, or am I just on the
So on the building, the same chimney that he's hiding behind, you're on the other side of it.
Cool.
So you can see his if you're looking at it, you can see his leg on the other side. So he's looking at the opposite direction of you, waiting for the party.
Okay.
Or whoever is going to meet Arnold.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. What is the rest of the group doing?
About how far away are we from these guys?
I would say you're in the bustling center of the street, about 50 to 60 feet. They haven't noticed you because you're meandering around. But yeah, 50 to 60 feet just straight ahead of you is the alleyway.
If I do anything, I will.
Is there any way for us to Fee to get around to the other end of the alleyway in case they try to make a break for it?
Yes. If you want to get there fast, you can give me an athletics check, and you could, as your group approaches, you could hustle around and go the other way and make it to the back end of the alley.
I'll do it. She's proficient in athletics.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Okay, Fee, do something good. Oh, nat 20 plus 6? Yes! Queen!
All right.
Mwah.
Yeah, so your group just watches Fee just bolt just as fast as she can. She takes the long way around the large fountain, and you are now waiting at the corner on the other side of the alley.
It probably helps that Marvin is very slow.
Yes.
Leaning heavily on his stuff.
All right, so now we have Marvin and Sturgis and Babar. Are you moving towards Arnold?
I will. I'll begin moving towards him, and I'm still strumming the ukulele. And once I get within range, I would like to attempt to charm.
Okay.
We know that Arnold is in league with these guys. Like, this isn't him being held hostage while they ambush us. He's with these dudes.
Yes.
Yeah.
One would assume.
Yeah.
He looks like
I'm
it.
focus on him and attempt to charm person. It is a saving throw 12. Wisdom save.
All right, and so he'll become friendly with you, and he'll become jovial. All right. Well, let's see. All right. So describe to me as you're playing your ukulele how you start incanting the charm spell.
So, as I'm playing the ukulele, just very quietly humming to myself, in a tribute to the almost heroic guys, I will begin humming All Star by Smash Mouth. And just very quietly begin singing, kind of swaying to the beat, playing an acoustic version of All Star.
Okay.
Which, as we know, makes everyone friendly.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And they will just start singing along.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
That's
All
how
right.
you know it's worked, because he's sitting there going...
So, as you're approaching...
The tattoos on Sturgis's hand as he plays kind of light up just a bit, just to glow very slightly as he plays.
So, as you approach, you see that your spell just kind of goes out into the ether and flows into his ears, and you see kind of a green glint in his eye. And then as he sees you approach, a smile just comes over his face and goes, that's Aslog. That has to be Aslog.
Hi!
Aslog, how have you been?
I've been alright, you know. How have you been, Molly?
Things are good. I'm now no longer a grunt for the silver pins. I get to make
great.
drops.
That's great.
You came for the fest. What are you doing here? You know, I've got business that's I gotta deal with.
I completely understand. But you see, me and my mates here, we are attempting to conduct some business with you. Who are these others?
Are you the buyer? Oh!
Well, hold on.
Gilbert, he's the buyer. Aslog's the buyer. This is great.
Mom, shut the fuck up.
What?
I'm Marvin. He's Arnold.
Whatever. I'm not good with names.
Your good friend Arnold.
Yes, my very good friend.
Yes.
Fuck. I have it written down and everything.
Get ready to push.
I have it written down and everything. Arnold, I thought this was going to be you.
Well, you know, I
Who are
can't.
these other guys?
Well, these are my men. I am now a captain. They're mine. I get to keep them. I tell them what to do. We hit up the joints. They beat people up. The traders pay me money. It's a good racket.
Yeah, extortion has its perks.
Yes.
Again, congratulations. But it definitely feels as though you and these gentlemen with you were planning to engage in, I don't want to say ambush because that seems a bit pejorative, but a surprise, if you will.
Well, let me. He takes his hand, he puts it on his shoulder, he's like, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. We were totally gonna rob him. But it's you, it's Aslog. I can't rob you. You remember when we slapped that goblin on the butt like 10 times?
Yeah,
It's great.
I almost killed him by hitting him in the ass.
You almost did. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I did feel a little bad about that. Just
Well, I mean,
people, when
yeah.
people are tiny and you're big, sometimes you just feel a tiny bit bad.
Yeah.
A tiny bit. But that is
memories.
Fond,
great.
Fond memories.
Good memories.
So many fond memories.
Now,
Sturgis, what? Shouldn't we be doing the trade? And Marvin reaches into his robe and jingles the pouch.
Yeah, this is my associate Marvin. And
hello.
I go by the code name Sturgis. With the group that I am currently consorting with.
I noticed that he keeps calling you Sturgis. I'm like, but he's Aslog. He's Aslog, right?
Keep it on. Keep that quiet if you don't mind.
Okay.
Legal troubles.
Okay.
Parole officer trying to avoid any heat you give on him.
Mine's a bitch. Let me tell you.
Most of them are.
Has me working at a baker shop, and I just want to hit people. What is this? All right.
All
right.
Let's get on with business.
So, all right, I have to be real for a second. How much is in that pouch?
200 pieces of gold.
Okay, well,
I love it.
I have to say, just unfortunately, the price has changed. I was gonna make it 400, but for you, Aslog, it's 300 gold pieces. It's just
we go way back.
We do. Asses and Goblins,
Yeah,
that amazing
that
brothel.
That was the title of our book we wrote together. But
you wrote that book?
I did. Never got it published. Shopped it around a bit. Nobody really picked it up. Still got the manuscript though. But I only have the 200. That's all I've got. I was sent here to procure the item from you for 200 gold, as agreed upon. We are men of our word most of the time.
Give me persuasion and advantage.
Yes. Come on, Sturgis. Okay, let's do better, Sturgis. Let's use this dice.
Come on, charisma's your big stat here.
Alright. Okay. That is a natural 13 persuasion. So that is going to be a 17.
So he kind of hums and haws for a second. He's like, anything for asses and goblins. And he procures the egg out of his pocket, and he's like, here it is. Now, hand over the bag.
Marvin,
He's got a
place
ready.
Leaning on the quarterstaff, and then places the gold in his hand. But before he lets it go, he says, "You've got to tell me where did you ever get this dragon's egg from? It's a odd thing to have."
Well, You fantastically cute little old man. It's not a dragon's egg, it's a wyvern egg. And
Dragons, wyverns.
I have
all
to
the
say,
same.
like, my boss made a deal with, what was his name? Weird little gnome. Tiddly Widdly.
I'll ask, does that have anything to do with the
Okay.
YMDB graffiti we've been seeing around town?
I don't know. But that's a good question for another time. So you've got your egg, and I've got my gold. I think this is where we part ways. Don't you think, Aslan?
Yeah. You know, as a note, if you want to get together for a drink later, you know, you swing by. What would be the name of the tavern? Would I know?
Do you want specifically a tavern, or do you want like a brothel?
Oh no, a tavern.
Okay. The tavern that you would be looking for would be called Odo's Goods and Supplies. It has a trade shop in the front, and in the back is a boisterous bar and tavern.
So, you know, if you want to come down to Odo's and relive some more good memory, maybe later this evening, I'll be there.
Jump
All
only lasts an hour.
I won't be
Well-
there.
Oh, I'm lying.
I message you. I'm lying.
All
What
right.
was
Well,
that? You're
I'll see ya.
frying.
I'll see you there. And he whistles. Is like, all right, boys, let's go.
The cat grabs some more jerky, then leaps down
Yeah,
to, like into my robe.
As we turn away, I will message. I will cantrip message to message Gunther, and be like, "Let's get the fuck out of here.
And then I
Job's done."
send back and I say, "Gotcha." What's the guy that I was sneaking up on doing?
He had a. Hold on one second.
He had a child who he was telling something very important.
He's like, "Go get lemonade. 2 lemonades.
Or
I
else-
want."
Or else someone will cut off.
Bring me a bear.
No, she knew I was
It's not,
going to
it's
be
not actually
DMing
child,
today.
it's his halfling servant.
Halfling servant, be gone. I'm very serious. You're now in trouble.
Oh,
You're now in
Oh.
trouble because you're not listening. I need to lock the door now. She's not listening. She's holding the door. Go away. Go away.
I remember the good old days.
Yeah,
I
there
remember
was
when my kids were
so out of game for a
nothing
second.
but trouble.
I told her, "Hey, I'm gonna be the one talking a lot, so you can't ask me things." She's like, "Okay." I said, "So the first time you ask me something, you get a warning. Second time, you're booted from the studio." She's like, "Yeah, I can do that." And nope, she couldn't do it. All right,
Couldn't do it.
all
Couldn't
right.
do it.
So we're back at you were at the you were
What's
on
the
top of
gentleman
and-
doing that I was sneaking up? Yeah.
So he had a crossbow like in his hand, and he was eating a sandwich in the other, just kind of watching along of like the
Okay.
situation underneath.
And when I get the message that it's time to let's hit it, which direction is he going? Like towards me, away from me?
He's walking away from you, and he is heading for a ladder that's on the opposite end, where Fee would be standing at the bottom of the alley.
Fee gets the hell out of Dodge
Okay,
as soon as she sees them like start walking off.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go, "Psst, hey," to the guy.
And he turns around and goes, "Huh?"
Let's have a bite.
And he's like, got it in his mouth. He's like,
Yeah.
"You want me to eat it?" Or,
Yeah,
What?
well, I was just up here having a smoke break, and I just, come on, let's have a bite.
Give a persuasion roll.
To have this man give you a bite of his sandwich.
Oh no.
He pushes you off the roof.
9.
Yeah. Eat piss, half man, and he like just starts walking.
That's fair. Fucking take your pinkies. And then I climb down
All right.
and meet up with the party. And I
Okay.
get to the party and I go, I'm fucking hungry.
Let's get
Here's
away
the
from
candy.
here. Let's get away from here.
All right, yeah.
Within the hour, preferably. Very far away. And then we can discuss lunch.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Let's
Yeah,
just put the thing in then. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Marvin
but
puts
back-
the egg inside his robes. Next
As
to the
you-
cat.
As you start walking past the fountain, you start hearing just a boisterous like shouting, and people start kind of like spattering. Like you hear wagons tip over and carts just kind of push, and you just hear this cackling of like tiddly widdly bang dang, that's all they sing. Tiddly widdly bang dang, let's play a game. And you see just in this like it clown motion of just this gnomish like figure just dancing on top of the fountain, and then just a poof of green smoke, and this juvenile green dragon just spreads out its wings and just like sprays the air with poison above you. Everyone roll initiative.
Fuck!
Oh, boy.
Oh, you know what? Just picked up a dragon egg, didn't we?
Well, technically, it's
Well, that's a wyvern egg, actually.
Fuck.
I know difference.
19.
15.
Oh, good. It's a 1.
Everyone just hold on to it. I'll ask him to say, do you halfway get to re-roll ones for initiative?
Holy shit, they do.
Yeah, re-roll that initiative.
Oh, yeah. Fucking
It's a
halflings. Halflings are broken.
Chris, what is it with you and dragons as our first encounter?
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons and Dragons.
Yeah.
and Dragons.
It's not dungeons and
I assume I'm
a
supposed
small
to
group of
level
kobolds.
dragon up.
All right, so we've got anybody above a 20? No. Okay. Anybody 15 to 20?
I hope the dragon's not that big.
Okay,
15?
Fee is 15.
Well, Fee's 19.
Oh,
I'm
Fee is
15.
19?
19.
Okay, and Ed's 15. Okay, 10 to 15.
Yep.
I got a 10.
10.
I'm at a 10 too.
Hello, shared initiative.
My initiative is +1.
Okay.
+3. Snuffy.
I'm at a -1 initiative.
Okay, so Thunder, Sturgis, Babar.
Okay.
Snuffy, Babar. It's all the same.
All right. And great. Okay, dragon goes first. Everyone give me a constitution save as the poison mist just starts flurrying on the ground.
11.
And this is how we all die.
That would be a 9 for Sturgis.
Okay.
17.
5.
Okay,
12 for
Great.
Babar.
excellent. Thank you. Okay, now we have Hannah. It's your turn. Viscountess.
So, is the dragon like how high up is the dragon?
So it is perched on the fountain, and you
Okay.
see just merchants and like carnival performers just like running away from it, and it's just got its face up, and it's just has acid spray just coming out of its mouth, and it's flapping.
How
its
big
wings.
is it?
It's not an adult; it's a juvenile, so it's the size of like a large warhorse.
Okay, so how high off the ground would you say it is?
The first step on the fountain is, I would say, 2 feet. So it's like 7 feet off the ground of like where its head is. 7 feet.
Okay. So Fee is just gonna go for it.
hmm
So she is going to, first off, she's going to attack with her, for her action, she's going to attack with her Yikula.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 is going to hit.
All right.
I have to call them that now. Dirty 20s.
Is that an unnatural 20?
Criticals are neat 20s.
That's
Like
5 damage with the Yakula. So she she just goes for it, runs up there with her Yakula and does like a thing with it.
All right, so you hit it, and like blood sprays you in the face, and you hear this. All right.
And then, bonus action. She's gonna do her unarmed strike.
Okay.
With her free hand and just try to go into the wound that she opened and just try to rip it some more.
Okay, go for it.
Oh no. That's a 9.
Okay, a 9 unfortunately doesn't hit this green dragon in front of you. Ed, it's your turn.
Okay, so Marvin reaches into his robes again and pulls out this beautiful, pristine, leather-bound spell book.
Yeah,
and throws a Word's Original into his mouth and starts thumbing through the spell book while sucking on this sweet. Then he looks at the looks at a page, looks at the dragon, inhales, and spits the Werther's Original at the dragon using the spell Catapult, where he fires a projectile with terrible force.
Oh my god! All right.
Towards the dragon. Oh no, that's Greece. Where's my catapult? Here it is. So yeah, choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range that isn't being worn or carried. Yep. Oh, it's not a ranged spell attack. They have to make a dex save.
Okay.
I thought it was a ranged spell attack, but no, it's a dex saving.
It fails.
Nice. So it gets hit in the eye with this Werther's. Does 3d8 damage.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Nice.
Roll that damage.
Hard candy.
Yep. 6 plus 7 is 13. So 15 damage.
15 damage. Yeah, you hit that sucker hard. It just kind of you see it just, and the spray keeps going on. Now we're at Gunther.
Oh, and then he scurries back with it, so he's hiding behind the larger member of the squad.
Nice. All right, Gunther, you're up.
All right, I take cover behind anything. I don't really care. A barrel or whatever, and I pull off the longbow that's basically as big as I am, and arrow, and then I'll just shoot one.
Okay. Roll your attack.
9.
9, unfortunately, won't hit this. It just flies off and clings onto the marble floor behind the dragon and past the fountain.
Told him I was hungry.
Sturgis, your turn.
Right. So I don't have any spells that are particularly useful here, so I will pull out my hand crossbow and shoot at it.
Okay. Roll your attack.
That is a natural 20.
Nice.
Roll your damage.
Alright, 1d. That's 6, so doubled is 12, plus 1 is 13.
13 points of damage. Excellent. All right. Babar, your turn.
So I kind of raise my shield and I take my mace and I bang it against my shield, and this horrible gong sound rings out, and I cast Toll the Dead, which is a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
It fails.
That's a D12.
All right, roll that damage.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. That is 6 damage.
All right. Babaris, tell me how Toll the Dead kills the dragon.
You just like I say that horrible gong sound just kind of gets in his head, and you see like where his ears would be, this just bursting of blood just come out of his ears, and his head just kind of implodes as the blood drips down from where his ears would be, and you just hear this thing let out a godly screech.
So you see the dragon just kind of flop on to the fountain. And then the body starts shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until you see the body of this muscular and shielded kobold just laying prone and dead on the fountain.
What the fuck?
That's not normal.
Well, that was anticlimactic. It wasn't even a dragon.
Now, I'm not used to fighting dragons. They know strange little lizard men.
I don't think they're normally lizard men.
I don't believe so.
Scratches his head. How peculiar. And Marvin will sort of totter up and like use Mage Hand to poke around.
Yep.
The kobold, like pull it off the fountain and like turn it over.
All right, so as you use your Mage Hand to pull the kobold off, you see these like phantom teeth bite onto your Mage Hand, and then you just see this projection of this ugly gnomous creature that's doing the it dance again, and it's going tiddly widdly bing bang, let's play a game. You're playing my game now, tiddly widdly bang bang.
I don't much like your games. They're not very fun.
And then the apparition just disappears.
Did we technically just murder somebody?
What? Nah. Well, I mean, yeah, but like,
is the kobold body still there? Or was
Kobold body is still there.
Okay.
The projection of the little gnome dancing disappeared.
Do we have witnesses? Is there anyone here?
So there are plenty of like people and common folk that are slowly like coming out of the buildings that were taking shelter and just praying about, and you hear just from the corner you hear a and you hear like that's the sound of the guard slowly making their way into the center of town.
I literally just remembered we were not supposed to get into a fight.
Can we just run then?
should we
our
go back to
places
the
are
chapter
known.
I mean, we didn't
I've got-
introduce ourselves. Let's just.
I've got a pretty distinct face too.
I mean, so do I.
And I'm a fire Ganazi.
Fucking hell, you're really noticeable, aren't you? Like in a dark room and all.
Yeah, let's just dissipate, split up, plan.
How do
You can hear the
think?
footsteps of clanging metal coming from a corner. Babar, you could tell it's maybe 15 to 20 guards, like the sound of the feet.
Oh shit! I kind of relay that information to the group. Hey, we got about 15 guards coming our way.
Should we split up and just meet back at the Journeyman's then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I run off. I run to the nearest
Okay.
restaurant.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so
I will
you're
pick
running.
Marvin up.
All
No,
right.
you don't need to. Don't worry. I've got a plan for that.
Alright, so
All right.
Yeah. So you go to pick Marvin up, and he casts Expeditious Retreat. And basically he basically just looks like he's moving with the speed on the TV, like fast forwarded. Like he's still hobbling, but really fast.
He just takes her cloak and puts it up, and hopefully with that nat 20 earlier, he takes off.
I use my like natural halfling stealth to like sort of use the crowd and just
Okay.
hide behind the crowd people and stuff like that.
Fantastic. Babar, what do you do?
I just kind of saunter off, like I had nothing to do with this.
Okay. Fee, you just ran too. You just like bust a move.
Yeah, she just pulls up her hood and goes.
Wait, are there still like parades going on around here?
Yes.
I dropped
Maybe
all
you-
fours and kind of blend into the parade like a little pygmy elephant that's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Similarly, I will join the troop of like walking performers and just like
Mhm.
try to blend in.
Fee probably tries to find like the brothel or something to quickly hook up with someone, get a cookie in so she has an alibi. But also,
All
I
right.
was fucking. I wasn't there.
Fee, give me. Do I want that to be a sleight of hand trick or persuasion?
come on,
Oh
come on.
my
not sure.
god.
Put it
It's-
Which one do you want to
I
roll?
feel it's probably like at least.
What is she doing? She just
Is she hooking up? Like she just grab a stranger's making out on the street?
That should be
No,
athletics.
No,
athletics
she
check all
actually
day
like
long.
finds the brothel and she probably knows where it is, let's be
All right.
real.
Does it right.
Yeah.
And goes
So
in there and does approach someone like, "Hey baby, you wanna spend some time with me?"
That
all
could
right.
even be animal handling.
Oh god.
No.
Give me a persuasion.
Come on, Fee. Oh, she's proficient in this, yes. Okay. 11.
Okay, so you make it to the Siren Song, which is the far west end of town. Like you went in the opposite direction of the Journeyfolk, and you found a person in there who was just waiting in line, and he was like, what you
Free?
offered him for sex, he took it, and you received 10 gold pieces, like just coming in.
She didn't even
Okay.
want gold, but
You went into a brothel, and you were like, "You want to have sex?" He's like,
hey.
"Yeah."
That,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to do my taxes.
Well,
So
I
he
am.
gets an alibi.
All right. So it eventually you all start arriving back at the Journeyfolk Guild House. Fee being the last one,
Yeah.
with a big old grin on her face.
Probably some hickeys just out to show because she doesn't dress very modest.
How would you see a red hickey on a Fire Ganassi?
Have you seen her art?
They bruise purple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's actually rather pale for a Fire Ganassi. So
Okay.
you can see them.
Yeah, so you head back to, I'm assuming you go to Rooney's office.
Yeah.
That was our scribe.
Yes, your scribe.
I mean, probably.
Yeah,
Marvin was
it-
probably
it's
asleep
a
by
job.
the fire when you got there.
Yeah. Okay,
But, yeah.
well, you make it into Rooney's office. And, okay, hold on.
Watch us still get in trouble anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. They're gonna be like,
Oh, he
Why
took
did
the
you
headset
run?
off.
They're gonna be like,
They'll be like, do you guys know these psychos?
My daughter with an apology note. How sweet.
Aww.
Okay,
That's adorable.
so, all right. Rooney's just kind of sitting in his office, and he's like, "So, did you get the egg?
Indeed, we did.
The what?
The egg.
The
Marvin.
egg?"
Oh, I did have an omelette this morning.
I actually
didn't it?
had an egg sandwich as well. Yeah, so that was also
No,
confusing for me.
Marvin, the egg.
The wyvern
The
egg.
leg?
Egg!
Is it a dragon egg or with an egg?
Old man, get the hair out of your ear.
What was that?
Hello.
I reached
Get the
for
hair out of your ear.
I can't hear you with this wyvern egg in wyvern egg.
God.
It doesn't look very delicious, but here it is.
So he takes it out, and then he's like, "Oh, hold on," and he goes to his desk, and he pulls out these giant bifocals and puts them on, and then magically they get a little bit bigger, and then they become conical, and you see like his eyes just coming out, and he's like staring, and he's like, well, it is what it is, and it's worth what we gave it.
It's fucking dragon egg, isn't it?
No,
Oh, all right. Yeah.
it's wyvern shit,
No.
shaped like an egg.
Oh, fuck.
It's a good fake. It's a good fake. So they're selling fakes of these.
I'm glad I didn't touch it or nothing.
Tell me about your mission. How did it fare?
Easy.
Nothing happened.
Very well.
Sturgis was like just really good. You know what I mean? Like, you ever seen something? Yeah, it's just like, it was just like really smooth, you know?
Well, now we know there's apparently some man named Oslog or whatever
Yeah.
associated, whatever they called you. I could hear it. You all were loud.
Yeah, that was a false persona from another time.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
And you don't know anything about what happened in the Great Market?
What happened?
Well, apparently there was a
remember we
dragon.
fought a big.
Fucking hell. Marvin. Come on, mate. You had a line of people. Come on.
Don't listen
Marvin,
to that senile old
You
bastard.
and I
What
will
was
get
that?
along just fine.
Fuck.
Thank you for that.
I shot a Werther's original at it. You did some magic as well. You were also there.
I was too hungry to fight it. I was hungry.
That's quite alright.
I had
It
the Captain Abelos Elfkin, the captain of the Wild Guard, come and visit me. He said he saw a few of our Journeyfolk fighting a dragon in the middle of the city. And they didn't stop for questions. That wasn't you, was it?
Well, I mean,
No, I was preoccupied, like showing her, like patting
well, we
her
wanted
head.
to get back and deliver the egg.
Right. We wanted to fulfill the mission.
Mission first.
Right.
Question
Right.
later. We
I
were going to
see.
go back. We were going to go back for questions.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can always like go to the wherever it is, the office.
Yeah.
He pulls out like a little gem and he places it on the table and he whistles 3 times and presses an indentation in the center, and kind of just illusion of Fee like punching and stabbing the dragon comes up. Goes,
Not me.
That's the
I
other
just
one.
need to remind you all that we
But that's a
are honest in our
dragon!
dealings, and you actually did a good service for the city.
See, yeah, all right.
So
You
the
get an
guard
extra
would not-
25 gold pieces. They weren't just wanted to know what happened.
That has not
Extra-
been my experience in other cities. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It kicked in. Like,
Right.
what we're going to do, you know?
Old habits, you know.
Die hard,
Well.
yeah.
Yes, thanks.
So what?
Shoot.
What do you
That
know
was a
about?
very good movie, Die Hard. I remember the bards playing it.
It's good, yeah.
Every Wintermas.
You know, it's technically a Winter Crest movie. It's about family and all that. So,
It's very good.
yeah.
So what
Well-
do you know about this creepy dancing fucking gnome that we saw?
Yeah, he calls himself Tiddly Weirdly, and he wants us to play a game, and you know.
And there was graffiti with a gnome that said YM. What was it again? YMDB.
Something.
Let me look in my book. And he pulls out this large tome, and it says, knowledge of Fae and Fae miscreants.
Wait.
And he starts,
Oh.
The TW is Tiddly Widdly.
Tiddly Weirdly, play the game.
But what does the BD stand That
Tiddly.
I don't
Widdly. Tiddly, here's Telly, here's Tubby. Tiddly. No,
Widdly.
Tiddly. Tiddly Widdly. And he pulls out the paper and the book. He hands it to you. He's like, well, I'm afraid it's not a gnome. We aren't that ugly, I would say, but it seems you're dealing with a Neilbog.
What?
Neil Bog.
A
Right.
Neilbog.
Do we know anything about a nilbog?
Nah,
You
I
can
don't know
give me
shit.
an arcane check.
Is that for all of us?
Yes.
Oh man,
I don't know shit about Neil Bogs.
20 something.
I think Marvin's got it.
Yeah.
25.
So-
He's fucking
Neilbogs
great. Ooh.
are angry and mischievous goblins that are gifted with powerful arcane magic. They are tricksters, and they're mischievous, and they're one of the fey creatures that always tries to disrupt the peace between humans and fey, and all the elves and the dwarves and the gnomes. And on that note, it's 5:30, so we're going to take our 10-minute break.
Oh,
All right,
yes.
real quick, before we go to our break, what most of you are probably waiting for has arrived. It is time for the special word, once I find it. A list of a bunch of stuff.
Special words.
Yep, special words. Lots of special words.
Most of them are swear words.
Okay, so the word is mimic me this. All one word. MIMICMEHIS. Alright. Listen. Hold on. There we go.
We're getting there.
Yep. New things. Okay, so mimic me this. Enter it into the chat one time. Uno. Ein. If you enter it more than once, you will be disqualified, unfortunately. We will randomly select a winner from people who entered this correctly into the chat a little bit later in the show. So mimic me this. And it is... Okay, good. People are already entering. It is case sensitive. Just want to throw that out real quick.
Nice.
It
Nice.
is case sensitive. So enter it exactly as you see it on the screen. And we are going to go to our break. It will remain up on the screen during the break, and then when we come back before the end of the show, we will announce a winner, and then we will get your information so that you can get your book. And once again, it's for Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So fun time had by all. It makes a great gift for your own dungeon master or for yourself. Cheers.
You can try again. Only enter it correctly once.
Yeah, enter it correctly once.
I personally know that particular person.
That makes it so much better. Okay, guys,
Now we're going to be attacked by minions.
Break 10 to 15 minutes. We'll try to keep it at 10, so we can all eat and be right back. So,
yeah,
we'll see you in a bit. Please stick with us for this amazing clusterfuck of weirdness. Yeah, we'll be back soon. And
Oh,
we
God.
are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us. Well, we got some coffee and whatever else we need. Alright, so I hope that everyone has entered their code word into the chat. We'll keep that going for a little bit. Probably the next half hour or so. Just for, again, any stragglers, any people coming in late. Ate a bunch really fast. Live. Great. So, once again, if you're just popping in for the giveaway, type in the word you see on the screen, mimic me this, all one word, case sensitive, only enter it once or you will be disqualified from the chat at a time of our choosing. We'll have a random winner picked, and we will whisper either here on Twitch, or if you want to leave a Twitter handle, or an email, or whatever else, just leave it in the chat along with your entry, and we will get back to you. And also, just real quick, if you do win, whoever wins, please, let us know you got it. When it'll be sent through Amazon Prime, so it should get to you in a couple of days. When you get it, DM one of us on Twitter, hit me up, hit the channel up on Twitch,
Take a picture with yourself.
Share it on Twitter.
Take a selfie and promote the hell out of our channel on Twitter.
Yeah, so that way we can do more awesome giveaways.
That one.
Exactly.
That one.
Yeah. The better this giveaway does, and the more people we have following, if we make a Twitch affiliate, hopefully getting close, then we can start doing more giveaways and even more awesome stuff in the future, hopefully. So, with all that being said, I'm going to shut the hell up now and turn it back over to our Dungeon Master, Kris.
Well, welcome back. So here we are sitting with Rooney, and you figured out that you are dealing with a nilbog. And Marvin knows a heck of a lot about nilbogs. How they're little fiendish goblins just full of raw magic potential energy, and they are mischievous. They like to sow chaos.
Yes.
Other goblins don't even like being around them. It is just even in the goblin hierarchies of the Fae, they're on their own path. When you ask for the goblin's manager, he's like, I am the manager. It's just nonsense with nilbogs. So
They also real hard to kill. They
very
jump about
very
a
hard
lot.
to kill. So Rooney looks at this and says, well, this is troubling because this evening the cloaked prince will be making an appearance for the festival's opening tonight here in the Great Market. It would not look good if that nilbog got in the way of it. I'm assigning the cloaked prince. Would you like to do a history check real quick for me, Miss Fee?
Yeah, she wants to know if he's hot or not. Oh boy. 22.
You said of a 2?
22?
A 22. Okay.
22.
The cloaked prince, also known as the hooded prince, is the ruler of Wildjoy. He's Prince Thastian of House Duristil. I mean, not Duristil. Durathil. He is the great grandson of Thurston Durathil, who was the half-kin prince, who led his people from Averni and settled this area of Wildjoy. It's not common knowledge what you know next, but it's kind of rumored about. He never shows his face. He's always either covered with a hood or he has a large sheet of cloak about his face with a veil. And it's rumored because his family has been cursed with a sort of magical leprosy. And so, he never shows it.
So he's ugly.
Fee would probably think so. I can't speak for Fee. I'll let you speak for Fee on that one. Yeah. Yeah. Fee would think that. But he's very powerful. He's seen as a benevolent ruler, and Wildjoy has prospered under his guidance. Any questions? You do like this guy, yes.
Kind of a big deal, right?
Except for the fact that he's ugly.
Well, I mean, if it's magical, maybe we can be fixed, and maybe he'd be super hot underneath.
Oh, you're right!
But you know what, Fee?
No.
Fee, you have had your run of, I assume, many suitors. I am in a bit of a dry spell. So, I would appreciate it if you would kind of take a back seat on this one.
Why?
Hello.
I'm the noble.
I have courted nobles in the past, but
You want to go after the one with a drapey hood?
I like the danger aspect of it, you know?
And the drapey face.
I like the drapey face. I do.
Oh.
It's got an air of mystery to it.
Well, then don't expect me to help you.
This is
what
all
have we
very
got?
interesting of who you want to
Oh, sorry,
do
sorry,
things
yeah,
to.
Right.
Oh.
But
My apologies.
he is betrothed to the Empress of Mastaba, so I'm not sure.
Is she
Anyway,
too?
I will take a note of your interest and just write it.
No, is
Yeah,
she
if you could
ugly
let
too?
him know, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
assigning
send a
you.
letter.
I'm assigning
not
you
answering
to
me.
the Great Market to observe the opening ceremonies along with 3 other groups. I have convened with my fellow scribe adjutants.
I'm okay with
And
girls.
if you feel that you are Miss Fee, the adults are talking. So shush. Yes, I will ask that if you feel that you
So
might
you're
be
talking to
overpowered.
yourself.
Hold on. And he starts rummaging through his desk, and he pulls out a wand, and he's kind of like, yes, this is it. And he points it at you, and poof, and you try to make sound come out of your throat, and like you feel like you're talking, but no sound comes out. He's like, that's better. Yes. So I'll assign you, and if you'll take this penny, and if you feel you are being overpowered, just flip the penny, and it will cast alarm and notify the other journey folk in the area of your troubles.
I'll take that.
All right. So, are we getting paid for this?
I would assume you would be, as this is overtime, so it'd be another 25 gold pieces for you, since you'll be out in the evening. Would you like to take a short rest before you go?
Oh no,
And if we flip,
we lost someone.
We lost Ed.
He'll
Rip,
come back.
if we flip that penny though, and other people show up, is that less money for us?
No, of course
Ah,
not. This
okay.
is your hazard pay. I'll give it to you now. And he goes behind, and there's a safe in the room. Opens the safe, and he's got 6 pouches,
Yeah.
and he tosses them to each of you, each filled with 25 gold pieces. And Marvin is just kind of like asleep, lolling his eyes with slobber starting to come outside as an old man wizard. Oh, there he goes.
All right.
Hello.
He's back. Woo! And then he looks at Fee and goes, I believe you've had enough, and he points the one back at you, and you can talk again.
Actually, can you put that back on, please?
What the? You know what? The next time that we run into a dragon, you all are going to do it yourself.
Please put that back on. I'll give you 25 gold pieces if I could have that wand.
No.
Oh.
We're having a problem.
It looks like Marvin's having a heart attack.
Ed says he's 4,000 pinged. That is wow.
I'm not dead yet. No.
Oh.
Jesus won't take me now. Okay. So, would you like to take a short rest?
Look right now, guys. I apologize, but hopefully Ed will be back soon. A wonky right now, but we're still here.
Oh, I didn't even notice
It looks
that.
really fucked up.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Short rest. short rest.
Yes.
Short rest.
Would you like to take a short rest?
I would indeed. Wait. Doesn't matter if I do. Find out. I get my
don't.
inspirations, but I didn't use.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I could
Okay.
kick my legs up a bit, but also I just ate
If
a
you
sandwich.
don't need a
so-
short rest, you can go straight into town, into the Great Market, and you can purchase stuff. You would have time to move about. There he is.
Yay! He's back.
I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'll go straight there.
I will do it.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, Wi-Fi was being bad. I had to find a cable and cable myself in.
Classic.
Hooray, cables.
That's showbiz, baby.
All right.
Yeah, so I am going to go with Gunther.
Okay. Is anyone taking a short rest and waiting just going to meet up, or is it just Gunther and Sturgis right now that are going to town?
Fee doesn't need to take one, so she'll go.
Sorry,
Okay.
what's happening? I missed a little bit. Just like spark
So,
notes.
the group has been assigned to go to the Great Market and observe the festival opening ceremony, where the hooded prince, also known as the cloaked prince, would be giving a speech and making sure if the Nilbog pops up to take care of it.
Okay. Is this tonight?
Yes.
Okay, I have no spells, so I will at least sit down by the fire, have a short rest, and regain a spell slot. I think I can do that as a wizard.
Arcane recovery.
Yeah, arcane recovery. So that's what I'll do while everyone's out and about. Sit around petting my cat.
Perfect.
All right, I told you I was going to do it. I'm going to march my ass and kick open the kitchen door.
Uh-oh.
All right. You walk through just the main area, the common room of the Journeyfolk chapter house. And there are other members just kind of milling about. They're enjoying their meals. And you see halfling waiters like coming to and from the kitchen, and they're delivering food. And you pass you head towards the door, and he's like, I wouldn't if I were you. And then you kick open the door, and you survey just like the beautiful smelling aromas, just mouth-watering, and from all the various pots and pans cooking on all the stoves, and just standing still, just looking at you, would be a cooking crew of maybe 8 kobolds who are just paused. And they kind of eye glance at each other, and they're looking at you because this is a new situation for them. They're not quite sure what to do because people usually follow the rules. And then you hear this, "What are you doing in my kitchen, Wolfman?"
This isn't the bathroom.
Give me an opposing strength check, please.
Strength?
Strength.
11?
Okay. You feel like these 2 strong orc hands just grab you by the shoulders, and they just kind of pick you up from behind and just toss you out of the kitchen. And you hit a table, and food like just goes on the floor, and it's just a mess. The rest of you see this tall, blue-skinned orc just peer his head out, and he just takes a giant piece of turkey leg and just throws it at the Loxodon on the floor. "Stay out of the kitchen!"
Are we
And the
still
door
there?
closes. Yes.
Okay. I will walk over and help him up. And as I'm doing that, I am casting Prestidigitation to clean him off.
Okay.
And clean my hand, even like as we're touching and after I pull back. Was it worth it?
I'm going to say, yeah, it was, and I'm going to yell into the kitchen. This shit's low-grade dog food.
Fucking hell, mate.
Maybe stop while you're ahead.
You're gonna get hit
He's
again.
not ahead anymore.
No,
No,
that's bad. Yeah.
I do pocket the turkey leg, though.
That is filthy.
You anybody speak orc?
Actually, I think I do.
I do.
All right.
Nope, I do not.
You just hear those fucking goddamn Loxodon and their fucking cursed faces. I'm gonna fucking make a stew of his fucking face and I'm gonna feed it to him like fucking halfling Hannibal Lecter style. Jesus, tits on a bike.
I speak back. I speak back in Orcish, and I go, "I'm gonna fucking eat their pinkies, mate. I love pinkies. Oh,
Wow, this took a dark turn.
Oh my god! Where's our cannibal turtle?
You're hearing grunting, and the orc makes eye contact with the halfling, and it's just this moment of like understanding, and then he closes the door. You have one renown with Varric.
fuck
Smash
yeah, dude.
cut. Marvin having a nap on a chair.
Yep.
Just cat on lap.
That's one renown with whom?
Varric.
Varric.
He is the quartermaster and head chef of the chapter house.
Cool.
Head
He's an
cook.
He's an asshole.
I quite
All right.
like him.
Why the fuck are there kobolds in the kitchen?
Well, you can give me a history check, and I'll tell you which knowledge.
There are kobolds in the kitchen.
Yes, there are kobolds in the kitchen.
Oh god.
Name of my new children's book.
There are kobolds in the kitchen.
That's a 9.
That's going to be next.
That's a
That'll
9,
be
by the
next
way.
week's word. Kobolds in the kitchen.
Yes,
There's kobolds in the kitchen. All right, you got a 9. That's enough information to know that Wildjoy is a very diverse city, and that its sewer system was built by metallic-skinned kobolds.
Aw.
So they kind of take a lot of the service jobs within the city, and they tend to stay out of the way. And since the Journeyfolk have a good treatise with the city and a good contract, part of the deal was that they would hire out Fae and Fae creatures that usually kind of get a bad rap for a lot of their service jobs. And the food's not too bad, though to Loxodon standards, probably just seeing the kobolds is like, nope.
I seem to Sturgis' standards, he wouldn't be eating this shit either.
I'm concerned about cleanliness. Did it look clean?
Yeah, the food looks pretty clean.
No, did the kitchen?
Oh, the kitchen. Yeah, the kitchen.
What little I saw of it.
Babar would have seen the kitchen, and it's fairly a very clean and like very tidy kitchen.
It's got a B on the door for the grade.
An 80. Solid
Oh
80.
my god! All right, you head into the Great Market.
Yeah.
All right, the sun is cresting across the horizon, and as you're moving forward deeper towards the Great Market, you can see that people are beginning to gather around the fountain itself. There are new markets and stalls up and out. You see a lot of magical toys being sold. There's a stand for billowing capes that's being marketed, and you see like a very wealthy family. They appear to be nobles. They're putting billowing capes on their children, and the kids just start running around, enjoying them. There is a human wearing a red Magi's robe, and he's selling clockwork gnome toys. There's another stall, and he's got something that's called fairy milk, and he's selling it in these large canteens. And the parade, it seems to be going about in a circle, and you see what appears to be the House Durathil Guard, which is standing up on just this newly built wooden platform that seems to have been brought up after your battle with the Green Dragon. And it's on the far side of the fountain. What would you like to do or look for? while you wait? Go for it.
I am going to I'm gonna take up on a roof. I'm just gonna get up on a roof that's in this little market area. I'm just gonna sit on the edge of the roof, start lighting my pipe, and I'm just gonna have that general overview.
Okay. And so you're lighting up a pipe, and you've taken your time to get up there. Are you trying to stay hidden besides having smoking the pipe, or just chilling out and
No, I'm literally feet are dangling over the edge of the just chilling.
Okay. What about you, Sturgis?
At the dentist, ask me questions.
Where do you go to school?
So what I would like to do is kind of wander off the beaten path just a bit. This being a large city and very orderly, I would imagine there is some sort of illicit substance trade that goes on. Sturgis is feeling a bit. He was not a ton of help in the last fight, so he's looking for something that's going to take the edge off.
Okay. You can give me a investigation check.
Six.
Okay. You are peering about, and you seem to be looking through some of the alleyway to the great market and the large ceremonial fountain, and you notice that there seems to be a fairly well-dressed man, just kind of peering back for a moment, and he seems to be passing little small bags that are in this colored black leather. And he's just by himself, and every once in a while, a kid might run up, and he'll nod, and the kid runs off. And the people that are approaching him seem to be more well-dressed.
I'm actually trying to up the game on my microphone real quick.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. Babar. No, you're fine.
You said somebody was selling clockwork toys?
Yes.
What?
There's a human selling clockwork toys. He's in a red magi robe.
What do these clockwork toys do?
So as you approach the table, you can see the clockwork toys. They look like little tin soldiers. And on one hand side of the table, they're all dressed in purple garb. And on the other side of the table, they're dressed in white. And he says, I believe you might be interested, my good Loxodon friend. That's the correct word, right? Loxodon?
That
what
is
I
correct,
should call
sir.
you? Excellent.
That is correct.
So if you just take your small fife that comes with this set, and he blows on it, both sides take their weapons, and you see just these two armies of clockwork infantrymen attack each other. And the toys start cutting and slashing, and arms are coming off. And it's just eventually the purple side wins, and you see the toys cheering, and then he plays on the fife again, and then all the toys like magnetic just clicks of their body parts start coming back into spot, and then they go back to their starting positions.
How much for the purple one? Or one of the purple ones? Or do you sell the whole lot?
Well, I can sell the whole lot for you 40 gold pieces. And for just one of them, 5 gold pieces.
I will take one white and one purple.
Excellent. Now, you'll also need this special fife, and that comes at a bit of an extra cost because I have to get them from down south from the city of Bard's Hope, where they are specially made by the Open Door monks. So, if I could just have another 15 gold pieces for the fife, that's all.
So I get an inclination this dude like legit, or is he like a carnival hawker selling shit? That's gonna break the second.
That's a good question. Give me an insight check.
12.
Okay. The toys look legit. You surmise that he's trying to upsell you on the fife, and that it's not actually necessary, and that you can do the same thing with just whistling, or actually commanding the infantrymen.
Just the toys, please. I don't think the fife will be needed.
Oh, I would hate to sell you a subpar product because you did not get the essential tools required, sir. I could bring it bound 10 gold pieces.
No, thank you. I'll just take the toys, please.
Oh, all right. Yes, as you may. And he hands you on a white infantryman, and then you pay him his coin, and he says, "Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, just let me know."
All right, I appreciate the help.
Miss Fee, what are you doing?
So very first thing that Fee always does when she gets to crowded areas is kind of scan for her favorite type of person, a tiefling. Probably doesn't see one.
You can roll me, this is investigation. Roll me investigation.
Let's see.
While she's doing that, I'm just checking my mic levels. Is this better? I would like to know from the chat.
Don't go slow on us, chat. Tell me now.
Boom.
Tell me now.
You guys can keep going. I'll watch this.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What's your roll for the investigation?
That was a 13.
You do see one tiefling male who seems to be drinking a mug of the white fairy milk.
Okay. So, of course, Fee is going to approach him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just gonna kind of like walk up with like her hands tucked behind her back and just be all like, "Well, I'm surprised to see someone like yourself around here."
Well, it certainly is good to be seen in the city of Fey, wouldn't you say?
I agree. So, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking this illustrious, what they're calling it is silver fairy milk. It's apparently good for your bones.
Is it like expensive alcohol or what is it? Do you know?
Well, why don't you have a taste? And he hands it over to you.
This is how date rape happens.
Check one.
Doesn't though. She does it anyway.
Okay. Give me a constitution check.
Do. A check or a saving throw?
Oh, let's do saving throw.
Oh, Jesus.
You had to ask.
Oh, but that's a 19.
19. So you drink it and you kind of feel like this kind of liquid courage, just like your body seems to kind of burn a little bit brighter. So you're going to get advantage on your next d20 roll.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful. So she kind of like hands the tankard back and she's just like, well, that drink and the person who offered it to me are both very attractive to me.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh, God. Oof, my bones.
Okay, 19 plus 5 is 24.
Well, he kind of blushes and he puts his hand on a stall support beam that's standing next to him. He's like, well, I haven't got your name yet. I am Litar, and you are?
My name is Fee.
Fee? Fee, give me a perception check, please.
Checking. Or audio.
Okay, let's see. 11.
11. Okay, you're startled in a moment as you just see this hand just slap the shit out of the tiefling's head behind you. And you see this angry, just red-faced brunette of a woman, and she's just like, oh, you're gonna flirt with women again when I'm gone off to the loo? That's just great. Great. Is this one of your sluts that you just go off when you're done with work and I now have to take care of the kids? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Fee
Insolent
started
little
walking
shit.
away.
Do I see this happening?
Yes, you see it happening.
I would walk up to Fee and kind of take her by the arm. Come on, darling, let's go. You've had a bit too much to drink. We know what happens when you do that. And we'll just casually walk away.
Oh, thank you,
That's
darling. Yeah, I
that's
know,
right.
I know.
Take the hoe away.
My
Hoe
apologies.
Oh, you want to fuck?
No, dear. No. And I just kind of
Let me at her!
No.
Can I see this from the roof?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it is not subtle.
I'm just sitting up there with smoking my pipe, and I just go.
Okay. All right. Excellent. At this time, Marvin slowly
asleep.
meanders.
Smash cut, Marvin.
If that's what you want to do.
Well, they all left me because I needed a short rest.
Mhm. But I'm saying, like, the short rest, we've gotten to that point where the short rest is over, and you could have made your way. If you want to. If you still want to be asleep, I can do the next thing with Marvin asleep. That's up to you.
He'd probably have a little wander into town. Like he doesn't really have anything that he needs to do. Maybe pick up some cat food or something. Not that his familiar needs to eat, but it likes to.
Excellent. Okay. So as you all begin to congregate back together with Gunther on top of the roofs, you hear a loud applause as the hooded prince, with his entourage of guards surrounding him, and he makes his way on top of this large scaffolded stage. And he kind of waves to the crowd, and people are cheering, and eventually he waves his arms to get the area silent. And he starts speaking. Children of the stars and water, I welcome you. Let us gather once again to give thanks to our ancestors north and sowed our prosperity. Let us give thanks to our brothers and sisters of the forest and moon that share this land with us and see us sheltered from the darkness. Let us thank the half-kin prince who forged the peace. Remember the words of our banner. And you hear the crowd echo with him. We reap our ancestors' sowing. May those who visit come in peace. And you hear cheering from the crowd. And then he just kind of waves again. And then he invites another person onto the stage. He's like, may I give you my young brother who has made his vows for the Feora. And his brother comes up and he starts singing. I'm just a poor way stranger traveling through this world below. There is no toil, no danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going to the and all my loved ones gone on. I'm going there to see my father. I'm just going over home. And the applause from the crowd as the bird comes up, and you see just kind of like this type of dust just falter over the whole market as a group of fairies just kind of sprinkle everyone and move further past. And then the ceremony just kind of dithers on with various important nobles going through and talking about the exciting things that are happening for the city of Wildjoy, and it starts to get monotonous.
I roll my eyes and say, "What a bunch of wankers!"
I don't think any of those are bankers. I think they're fairies.
Yeah, the fairies and nobles and stuff.
I would like to keep scanning the crowd, looking for anything suspicious, any sign of fiddly widdly.
Give me a perception check.
I'm great at this.
Is that for all of us or just for...
If you're all kind of scanning, you can give me a perception check.
Marvin has his cat wandering through the crowd to help him. Would that give me a help?
That'll give you advantage, yes.
I got an unnatural 1 because I have a -1 modifier.
14.
I got an
I
11.
see nothing. Ever.
19.
19. Okay.
It's that rooftop helping you.
So I got a 1 and, well, I got a 5 and a 2 on my advantage
God.
dice. So...
All right.
Or
So there's just so much stimulation and sound happening on the floor of the festival Great Market that you're having a hard time. But Gunther, who is sitting on the top of the building on the southwest part of the market, you hear this crash of glass coming from the east, where there's just a line of stores and smithies and shops, and you see like this large dog that had just like bolted out of what appears to be an animal shop, and it broke through the glass, and it's running one direction, and you see some birds flutter out of it, and then there's a guy who like tussles out of the door, and he's panting, and he's bleeding from his arm, and like some of his clothes look like they've been bitten off.
Fuck. All right. Does my rooftop sort of lead over toward there? Like, can I use the rooftops to get a better look at that area?
Yes, you certainly could.
I'll do that. I'm not gonna notify the rest of the group because I have a suspicion that this is a distraction. So I'm gonna just mosey over there and just see if I can figure out if is this dog gonna like be crazy? Is he gonna keep doing crazy stuff? And yeah.
So you see that the dog it's just running the opposite direction, and then more animals come out, and then you hear like this screech of pain from an animal, and then like this loud burp.
That can't be good.
Fucking hell. And then I go, I see if I can get the rest of the group's attention, like sort of in the market. I sort of do a, and then I'm like,
He's like, I think the halfling is trying to tell us something.
So I will message him. What are you trying to say? You can reply.
I've got like dogs, I've got birds, I've got a broken window, some guy got chewed up, and
that's it. So there's broken windows, there's a dog.
Okay, so he needs us.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
maybe not all of us. I'm afraid that thing's going to show up if we leave.
What's that? Go on a rooftop.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send it again. Go on a rooftop. We can't fucking hear you, mate.
Yeah, my bad. I think that maybe not all of us. I think that this Neilborg thing is gonna try to get us if we all leave at the same time. Fucking
I'll hang back.
25 words.
yeah.
Right. I think
okay.
I got the gist. He doesn't want all of
All
us
right.
to come. So
I'll go.
Marvin will stay with Sturgis to
Right.
keep an eye out for the Nilbog.
Well,
He'll
you
put on
keep
his
doing it.
glasses this time.
All right.
Hold down the fort.
Give
No,
me
we will hold the
everybody.
fort.
Give me.
Fort is
Raise your
close.
hand if you're walking over to this shop.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I'm above it.
All right. All right. So, Babar and Fee, you see that this is an animal shop, and it's called Letheria's Wondrous Animal. And you just see broken cages. There are animals missing from it. Like, there's just shit all over the ground. Things are tossed, feeds everywhere. Like, there are lizards and snakes just crawling along on the floor. And in the back of the room, you see this shadowy figure just kind of with this small little staff, just hitting one hand with his staff like this. And just kind of humming like
Sophie immediately looks up and points at Gunther, and it's just all she starts doing the dance that the thing did, and then points.
Tiddly widdly.
Get the other.
Do we hear him yell Tiddly Widdly?
I'll
Let's
run.
see. You wouldn't. Everyone, because you have a 9 in passive perception.
Yeah.
Everyone else would hear. Yep. Yeah.
Including the half
Everyone else-
old man.
Yes.
I've got my
he,
hearing
hears
horn
this.
in.
It's amazing. Burgess is oblivious.
Yeah, my passive perception is actually it's not that good. It's 11.
Should I just go in and kill him?
I'm like,
yeah, I'll start
Bubba, what do
moving
you
that
think?
way.
I will just
Looks
follow
at
along.
Elephant Pal.
All right. Fee, do you rush him? you rush
She's
the
waiting
creature
for
in the back?
confirmation from Barbarous. She doesn't want to jump in and not have backup.
Oh, I got your back.
All right. Yeah, she goes in.
Okay. As you go in, you see almost like a stage lights just turn on,
This is how
the
Fee's
back-
gonna die.
and you hear just this music play, and he's like, "Welcome to Tiddly Widdly's show of nonsense." Yeah.
This is an animal shop.
Well,
No!
this is a shop.
No.
They sell animals.
Yes,
Who's the
obviously
shopkeep?
there's a fucking snake
And
right
who's
there.
the animal? Give me a charisma save, please.
Oh my god. Fuck. Okay. Okay, Fee. Oh no, a 9.
Okay. You are charmed by the Nilbog.
Oh god.
I need you
It's okay.
to now tell me and the rest of the group how you praise the Nilbog.
How she
How- Praises the Nilbog.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so Fee, she kind of as she gets charmed, you kind of see her she goes from having an aggressive stance to slowly lowering her Yakula, and her shoulders relax, and then she falls on her knees even though there's broken glass, and she just kind of holds out her weapon, and she's just like, "Please accept my weapon. I wish to aid you."
And it just kind of chuckles, and his staff grows, and he's like, "No offense, but mine's bigger." Everyone roll
You're
initiative,
right, you're
please.
right, it is.
I'm standing up on the roof and I just go.
I hate this.
Son of a
I don't have that
bitch.
feature anymore.
Worst ranger ever.
All right. 15 to 20. Marvin? What'd you get?
17.
All right. 10 to 15.
10.
10. All right. 5 to 10.
7.
6.
Oh man.
How did Marvin get the best initiative? He's geriatric.
I didn't think it was possible, but I rolled a nat 1, and I have a -1 to initiative. So I rolled a 0.
You get a surprised on the first round.
You're there. You knew it was coming, and you still managed to fail.
I rolled a 0.
Oh, I love it. All right, Ed, you're first.
Okay, so how far away is this animal shop?
I would say at this point, after Fee posturing herself before the Nilbog, you from the door are 20 feet away.
Okay, so I moved forward enough so that I can see the Nilbog. Like I move until I can see him.
You come up to the broken window where the dog had come through, and you can see the Nilbog. Just he's got his staff, and it goes long, short, and sometimes like he's making masturbatory like figments of it, and like you see Fee just like praising him, and it's just like you're like, oh god.
Well, this is very odd. And Marvin flips through some pages and goes, "I've been saving this one for a special occasion." And he wiggles his fingers, just and says some magic words, and then he holds out his book, and from it, 3 darts of blue energy fly at the Nilbog, and unless he has something to stop it, he's going to get hit with magic missile.
What I would like you to do is roll a charisma save, please.
Okay. Let me just quickly go to my saves. 21.
Okay, so he's like, if you're going to assail me, first you must praise me. But his words have no effect on you.
He goes, my wife is much more charming than you. And yeah, fires some magic missiles.
Your magic missiles just hit hard in the chest of the Nilbog, and you see his body flat back onto the ground, and then he just kind of lifts his body back up like he's a marionette and looks at you, and he uses his reaction of reversal of fortune and reduces all the damage you did to him to 0, and he gained 5 hit points of temporary health, and he's just like, hello! Did you miss me already? Tiddly widdly bing bang, let's play a game. Tiddly widdly bing bang, that's all they sang. Okay.
Marvin hides behind the door.
Funny.
Now we have Hannah. You are no longer charmed. It's just for that one moment. You can try and attack him now.
Okay, so she stands up. She's like, "Oh, you bitch, feeding into my kinks!" And she like immediately goes to like stab and quickly to follow up with that bonus action unarmed attack.
Okay. Please roll me another charisma save.
Okay. Charisma save
is
22.
All right. He says, before you assail me, you must praise me. No effect on you.
Okay, now she's gonna attack.
All right.
Alright, so Yik Ula is a 15 to hit.
Okay.
5 damage. And then her quick follow-up of the... She probably goes to kick him. Is a 9 to hit.
The 9 doesn't hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
9 doesn't hit. Okay. After Hannah, we have Sturgis. I'm sorry, after Fee, we have Sturgis. Before it's Sturgis.
Right. So, once again, Sturgis does not have any offensive spells. Though. But, actually, yeah. I will. No, not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna my hand crossbow at him.
All right. Give me a charisma save first, please.
Okay, I'm gonna take that first roll. Oh boy, business save. That would be a big 6. Be a popular number for me tonight.
You hold that crossbow up, and he just points at you and says, "Don't forget to play my game before you sail. Praise."
I hate you so
And you
much.
need to come up with a great, just tell me how much you love this Nilbog. Just tell me.
I dropped to my knees and, with the ukulele in hand, begin a wonderful tune. It sounds very similar to Taylor Swift's "Bad Blood," but I somehow fit Nilbog into where Bad Blood would be, and now we got Nilbog.
I don't like your voice, but I bet I could use your mouth. All right.
Oh, wow. That seems oddly personal.
All right, Gunther, it's your turn.
Oh, hello. So I can't see him. He's inside the building. I'm above it. Am I across the street above it, or am I above it?
You are on the opposite side of the street. So you can see, you watched as Fee went in, and you didn't hear any noise, and you saw the magic missiles go in, and then you saw Sturgis outside, just going prostrate, and singing about the Nilbog, and then going, ugh! Like, ugh!
Okay. How high am I? Vertically.
Only you can answer that.
I would say you're about 40 feet in the air.
Ah, shit. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ready an attack action if the Nilbog comes out of the building. Or comes into my view, rather.
Okay. Excellent. Action ready. We now have Barbarus, Tiberius Nephelobicus.
How far away am I from him?
You saw the wizard go on in. You have, I would say, no, you went in. You are 10 feet away from the Nilbog.
Okay, I'm going to look at him and say, "Oh, great and powerful Nilbog, we praise you on this day, and we worship you." And I run up and touch him and cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay. Give me a charisma check. At advantage because you already praised him, of your own volition.
Let's see. All right. You said charisma?
Yeah, but I'm going to give you advantage because you praised him.
Okay.
Regardless of this roll.
That's a 10.
10. Okay. He's like, "No, I like your words. You're going to do it again. Sing me something sweet, or I make you my treat." Bah, 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 bah.
So I'm assuming I'm charmed.
Yes.
So I drop down to one knee and I put my shield and my mace down, and I say, "Well, it was worth the shot. We still praise thee. Now let me see the rod trick again."
He takes the rod and it just expands, and he's like, "Look, I can make it your face," and your face goes at the end of the staff, and it's just like, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? Okay. Back to the top of the round. Marvin the Mage, it's your turn.
Well, you're all being very silly. Let's try this out. And let's see, what are the components? Verbal and somatic. So he opens the book, flips through the book again, and draws in the air with the picture of a bonfire. And under the Nilbog's feet conjures a bonfire.
All right.
I assume I have to make a
Yep.
charisma save.
You've got to make a charisma save.
Well, that's an 18.
That saves. Yep.
So he's got to make a DC 13 dex saving throw.
All right. He fails. So roll your damage.
Yeah. And that stays there. But he can move out of it, I suppose. So that's 6 points of damage.
Okay. So you see the flames just caress up his body, and like he's starting to